Welcome back, traders. Second portion of our show. Having a little problem posting our Big Ten and SPOO analysis on UVU. So if it was a stock, we would be recommending shorting it. But there's a lot of other stocks moving out there this morning. Dennis, where would you like to start?
Well, we may as well start with the big one last night. Amazon reporting major mess, obviously. The stock traded down in the mid-180s before settling in the mid-190s. It's $199 this morning, so it looks like $200 seems to be the magic number. I'm going to use that for my swing number on Amazon if you're trading that. Obviously, there's huge support in the 180s because we actually tapped down there during the post-market there last night. But it's settling in here nicely in the 199 area, Joel.
Okay, I do see a panic low made there at 184.59. So we are firmly above that level. Probably an instance like you saw with Netflix yesterday, where the stock actually does not hit that pre-market level. 188 was also a low after that 184.59. So let's call that major support. When you go to the monthlies, you got to go back to June of this year. 181.59 would be the definite place to try some longs if it gets down there today. And I'll concur with you on that swing number at 200. Definitely got some real estate to fill back on the upside up to yesterday's low.
And Boeing is flying after reporting good earnings here, Joel. 66.25 after closing 63.72. So not everything weak today. We got Boeing doing very well. I love that 65 area as resistance. We're trading above there. I think that's going to give you some good support, especially if we do indeed open up above that 65. So I'd use that for my swing number, but I'd use it for initial support, Joel.
Okay, yeah, if we see that area. On that pop, when the news came out, we got to 67.50. Now that coincides nicely with our high back on September 1st at 67.73. So we still got some room to go. We are trading up $2.50. I would kind of just use that 66 number if you're going to try some longs on the open. If if things get out below that 65 level, you may have to cut loose, and major resistance will be forming from 67.50 up to 67.73.
We got Ford, symbol F, reporting this morning here as well. Disappointing just a little bit. The stock's trading down 10 cents. Interesting enough, I was watching the action in Ford last night, and it was actually popping up to $12.75. Joel, it was up 30 cents after hours. Maybe people speculating, that the earnings were going to be good. Obviously, that speculation was wrong. But the stock's settling in here nicely in this $12.32, just slightly down in the day. I think you'd see some support at 12, and obviously I'll be watching this stock if I'm trading General Motors today.
Okay, well, folks, just take what I say about the stock and do the exact opposite, because it seems like Ford's one of my worst trading stocks. But with that being said, of course, that 12.74 that we hit in the pre-market would be great resistance. As far as support goes, we had a little panic drop there to 11.82. So I doubt Ford's going to have a buck range today. But looking at the dailies, if it holds above this 12.14 level, I think we're good to go to test this 12.65, which is the 2-day high.
Here's an interesting one. Last night, MetLife, MET. The Fed won't sign off on their proposed dividend increase. So basically they were going to raise the dividend, but the Fed won't sign off on it. Something to do with you can read the story there, but I'm not exactly sure why. It's kind of shocking, but the Fed won't sign off, so they can't raise the dividend. So stock is getting beat up here this morning, trading down at 31.30 right now after closing 32.83. If it got down to $30, I see huge support down there, but that's still $1.20 away from here. What do you think, Joel?
Well, the Fed probably doesn't know why they won't allow it either. But with that being said, you did have a pretty nice range in the stock yesterday. Kind of opened up near the high and sold off, so someone seemed to have an inkling what was coming down the pipeline. So let's use that yesterday's low and close as major resistance. I do see a high back on the 18th at 30.21. We're still a ways away from there. But I think, you'll use that as good support.
DeVry, which is symbol D Victor, trading down here. It hasn't had a trade this morning, but it's offered down 42.97, and it was trading down after hours last night too, after reporting disappointing earnings. I think it's trading down all the way. You might have the numbers there, but I think it was trading down the 41s, Joel. I look at this, and $40 looks pretty big. I don't know if it's going to get that far down, but sometimes these educational stocks do have some significant volatility. A stock that often tracks with that is ESI, ITT Educational Services, so you might want to keep an eye on that one for a sympathetic move there, Joel.
Okay. I just have some few trades here at 41.99. Really not any significant volume. Going back on the charts, you do have a low back on the 17th. You got as low as 41.55, but that's not as significant as this 40.50 level, which was the low back on October 18th. And, of course, coming back on the upside, I mean, you got a gap to fill up to this 44.11 area. So where it will stop between 42 and 44 is anybody's guess there.
Corning, which is symbol GLW, having a good earnings report here this morning. 14.65 after closing 13.72. So it's getting a buck pop here, Joel. I liked it. Was breaking out over that $14 resistance area there yesterday. Closed below there, but now we're trading above there again. So I wonder if we pull back, if we'll see some buyers in that 14 area.
Yeah, that's 55 cents away from here, so that's pretty good distance away, but who knows. Really topped out in the pre-market here at 14.75. Going back to the charts, you had a high back on September 8th at 14.78. So you're really knocking up against some formidable resistance here. Above that, 15. I don't think will be much. I'll be more keeping an eye on the 15.24 to 15.28 level, which was the highs back on August 31st and the 1st of September.
Stock breaking out to new all-time highs. Biogen, BIIB, announcing positive results in the third phase of a trial for their new drug there. 117 trading, Joel, after closing 106.87. This stock has been on a tear this year. Beginning of the year was trading $60, so it's almost a double. It's nice to see, in a weak tape we've had, that this stock here has actually performed very, very well. Obviously, this drug's going to be a blockbuster because just some positive results for it puts the stock up 10%.
Okay, so we busted up almost $9 above the all-time high, 109.63. Made a high in the pre-market at 118.50. Even though I'm not an analyst on the Wall Street, I'm initiating this stock with an immediate short recommendation.
That's a ball. I'm not going to go. I'd almost go the opposite on you on that one, but
okay,
may have a bet on that one.
Okay, so it's at 117. Okay, I will go two pops on this. I'll take 107 before 127.
Man, you've got me tempted on this one. Oh, but the only thing, these things pull back and, I can't do it, Joel. I would be a buyer at 107, though, if it was pulled back.
Well, yeah, so would I. It's at 107, because I'd be short. I don't know.
I'd be short. You'd be covering your buy, but I'm always scared. When stocks are making new all-time highs, I'm scared to death to short them. So, they can pull back, but man, we were up here at this 110 4 months ago, stock breaking out over the 110 again. So that's got me a little bit nervous to short the stock, but I'm not going to make the trade with you on this one, Joel.
I mean, that's why they call it all-time high. I mean, someone has to short it at the all-time high, right?
Well, that's true.
All right. Well, keep an eye on that pre-market high there, 118.50. If it, use that as your swing number. If it gets above there, then I guess all bets are off.
Speaking of new all-time highs, Panera Bread is approaching its old all-time high. Report PNRA reporting earnings there after the bell yesterday. The stock is up $13, 128.62 after closing 115.72. Old all-time high is 133.43, Joel. It's only $5 away, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does test that old all-time high. Obviously, there should be some resistance in that area. What do you think on Panera Bread?
I think, it's not as good a short as the Biogen because I kind of like their sandwiches. I kind of go there a little bit. Pre-market high topped out at 129, so that will be some good resistance to start. It breaks above there. I'd be looking for the all-time high.
Valero, VLO, is trading up significantly on their earnings report, 23.35. After closing at 21.84. $24 looks enormous to me on this, Joel. I think that's probably where it's going to run into some significant resistance. We topped out there just a couple of sessions ago. We topped out there last month as well. What do you think on Valero, VLO?
I have to go with you on this one. 23.80 is where we stopped in the pre-market. The highs have been coming down before that, so I think this is a pretty thick one too. I think you'll find some people taking some profits here from a stock that was under $17 just at the beginning of the month.
Well, there's lots of movers, lots of action here today, so check your earnings calendar, but that's all I've really got for you. That's all the time we've got anyways. Joel, anything else you want to close with here?
No, the SPOOs have gotten a nice pop here off the durable goods orders here, made a new high, but have now settled back below the pivot. So once again, we'll be taking a look at that Globex high. 36.75 is a significant resistance. As long as we stay above this 12.30 area, we're good to go. So we'll get this show up for you folks here, and we'll try and get that S&P and Big Ten show up for you as well.